December 26, 2004. A day that began like any other, holding no hint of the unimaginable devastation it would soon bring. Along the sun-kissed shores of the Indian Ocean, the day dawned in perfect peace. The water was still, reflecting the vibrant colors of the sunrise. Fishing boats bobbed gently on the calm turquoise water, their colorful hulls mirrored in the glassy surface. Families stirred on the beaches, preparing breakfast over small fires, the aroma of spices mingling with the salty air. Children, their laughter echoing across the sand, busily built elaborate sandcastles, their small hands shaping towers and moats, oblivious to the impending catastrophe. Tourists, seeking respite from the winter chill, lounged on sunbeds, lost in books or simply soaking up the warmth of the tropical sun, sipping cool drinks, the ice clinking softly in their glasses. Local vendors, their voices a familiar hum, displayed their wares, vibrant fruits, intricate crafts along the shoreline ready to greet the day's visitors. The air was filled with the sounds of joy, laughter, the calls of seabirds soaring overhead, and the gentle, rhythmic lapping of waves against the shore, a soothing symphony of nature. In small coastal communities scattered along the vast expanse of the Indian Ocean, life followed its familiar, unhurried routine, a timeless rhythm dictated by the sea. The sea was a friend, a bountiful provider of sustenance, a playground for children splashing in the shallows, and a seemingly unwavering protector against the world's harsh realities. But deep beneath the tranquil surface, unseen and unfelt, a monstrous force was stirring, a danger no one could have imagined. Across thousands of miles of shimmering water, from the western shores of Sumatra to the idyllic atolls of the Maldives, people trusted implicitly in the constancy of nature, in the predictable ebb and flow of the tides, in the enduring stability of the earth beneath their feet. The world, in that moment, felt safe, stable, and eternal, a paradise seemingly immune to the ravages of time and the whims of fate. This was the world as it was before, a fragile piece, a breathtaking paradise unknowingly poised on the very edge of unimaginable disaster. The relationship with the ocean was one of deep respect and unwavering dependence, a bond forged over generations, never suspecting that the life-giving sea could, in an instant, turn deadly. Soon, with terrifying speed and unrelenting force, everything would change in an instant, shattering the illusion of peace and leaving an indelible scar on the world. Without warning, the earth convulsed. Far beneath the Indian Ocean, tectonic plates shifted violently, one of the most powerful earthquakes ever recorded. In Banda Aceh, buildings swayed, people fled, and the ground moved like liquid. A guttural roar filled the air, windows shattered, and panic erupted. Animals sensed the danger, elephants bolted for higher ground, birds fled. Dogs barked in alarm. The shaking lasted minutes, leaving behind stunned silence and cracked streets. Survivors emerged, dazed, believing the worst was over, but the true threat was still out at sea. The earthquake had displaced a massive volume of water, sending a surge of energy racing across the ocean. On shore, people assessed the damage, unaware of the invisible force heading their way. The earthquake was only the beginning. The tsunami was coming, silent, swift, and unstoppable. No one was prepared for what would follow. After the tremor, the sea began to behave strangely. The water receded rapidly, exposing the seabed and leaving fish flapping on the sand. Tourists and locals wandered out, marveling at the bizarre sight, collecting shells and taking photos. Children played where the ocean had just been, laughter echoing across the exposed sand. A few elders and scientists recognized the danger, shouting warnings to flee to higher ground. Most ignored them, unable to imagine the sea as a threat. Minutes passed. The horizon changed. A thin white line appeared, growing larger. The ocean's retreat was not a gift, but a warning. Wonder turned to confusion, then to fear. The sea was gathering strength for its return. The moment of awe was ending. The wall of water was coming. Chaos was about to erupt. The white line on the horizon became a towering wall of water. It moved with terrifying speed, silent at first, then roaring like 1,000 trains. Panic swept the shore. People ran, parents grabbed children, tourists abandoned belongings. The wave surged forward, faster than anyone could escape. It struck with the force of a bomb, obliterating everything in its path. Palm trees snapped, buildings shattered, cars and people were swept away. Streets became violent rivers of debris. Families were torn apart in the chaos. A hand held tight, one moment was gone the next. The water was a churning mass of destruction. Wood, metal, glass, earth. Survivors fought for their lives, tossed and battered by the relentless flood. The peaceful world was erased in seconds. The tsunami was not just water, it was devastation incarnate. In an instant, paradise became a nightmare. The fight for survival had begun. Amidst the immediate chaos and unimaginable destruction, a profound sense of disbelief gripped the affected regions. The sheer scale of the devastation was difficult to comprehend, as entire communities were submerged or simply erased from the map. Yet even in the face of such overwhelming tragedy, extraordinary stories of courage, resilience, and heartbreaking loss began to emerge from the wreckage. These narratives painted a vivid picture of humanity's capacity for both profound suffering and unwavering hope. One such story is of a father in Sri Lanka, who, in a moment of selfless bravery, pushed his two sons to safety as the monstrous wave crashed upon them. He ensured their survival, but was tragically swept away, a testament to a father's ultimate sacrifice. In Thailand, young Tilly Smith, a British schoolgirl on vacation, recognized the subtle but unmistakable warning signs of an approaching tsunami, signs she had learned in a geography class. Acting quickly and decisively, she alerted those around her, urging them to flee the beach. Her quick thinking and bravery saved dozens of lives that day. The immense power of the tsunami tore families apart in an instant. Children were ripped from their parents' arms, separated from their loved ones, and swept away into the churning, debris-filled current. Many clung desperately to anything that floated, pieces of wreckage, broken furniture, anything that offered a chance of survival amidst the raging waters. Martunis, an 8-year-old boy from Banda Aceh, became a symbol of hope and resilience. He survived an astonishing 21 days alone, lost and adrift in the aftermath of the tsunami. His survival was a beacon of hope amidst the despair, a testament to the indomitable spirit of a child facing unimaginable adversity. Survival often seemed random, a cruel twist of fate. One person spared, while another, standing right beside them, was tragically lost to the unforgiving waves. In the face of such devastation, strangers stepped forward, becoming impromptu rescuers, offering aid and comfort to those in need. They pulled survivors to safety, hoisting them onto rooftops, into trees, anywhere that offered refuge from the relentless surge of water. Doctors, nurses, and other healthcare workers risked their own lives, wading through flooded hospitals to reach and save their patients, embodying the true meaning of dedication. Local fishermen, familiar with the treacherous waters, braved the debris-filled seas in their small boats, tirelessly searching for any sign of life, any glimmer of hope amidst the wreckage. The aftermath was a desolate landscape of unimaginable grief. Entire families had vanished without a trace, and once vibrant villages were completely erased, leaving behind only haunting memories. Numbed by shock and grief, survivors began the agonizing task of searching through the debris, sifting through the wreckage of their former lives. They clung desperately to the faintest glimmer of hope, praying for a miracle, while simultaneously mourning the unimaginable loss of loved ones and the destruction of everything they held dear. Amidst the devastation, small personal objects offered a poignant reminder of what had been lost. A faded photograph, a child's favorite toy, a wedding ring, these were all that remained of vibrant lives, now reduced to fragments of memory. The Indian Ocean tsunami left an indelible wound, not just on the landscape but deep within the heart of humanity, a stark reminder of our vulnerability in the face of nature's immense power and the enduring strength of the human spirit. To understand the tragedy, we must look beneath the ocean's surface. The Earth's crust is made of tectonic plates slowly shifting and colliding. On that December morning, centuries of pressure between the Indo-Australian and Eurasian plates erupted in a mega-thrust earthquake. The seafloor snapped upward, displacing billions of tons of water. This unleashed a tsunami, waves racing across the ocean at jet speed, barely noticeable in deep water. As the waves neared land, they slowed and grew into monstrous walls. A wave just a meter high at sea could become a 30-meter wall at the coast. The tsunami's devastation was the energy of the earth, transformed into a deadly flood. It was not just a big wave, it was the planet's hidden power, unleashed. The event was a stark reminder of nature's unpredictability. The Earth's forces, usually invisible, had changed lives forever. The world would never be the same. The world before and after the tsunami were unrecognizable. Once vibrant beaches and bustling towns became wastelands of mud and debris. Palm trees and bungalows vanished, replaced by tangled wreckage and brown sludge. The landscape's beauty was erased in minutes. In Banda Aceh, daily routines and community life were shattered. Streets once filled with laughter and commerce became silent, impassable ruins. The social fabric was torn, entire families lost, communities broken. Survivors wandered in shock, searching for loved ones and meaning in the devastation. The world they knew had been washed away. Life's simple pleasures and routines were gone, replaced by grief and uncertainty. The contrast was absolute. A paradise turned to ruin. The survivors faced the daunting task of rebuilding from nothing. The tsunami had changed everything. The tsunami's roar was deafening, a thunder that drowned out all else. The sounds of destruction, splintering wood, shattering glass, human screams filled the air. Then, as the waters receded, silence descended. The birds were gone, daily life stilled, replaced by an eerie, heavy quiet. The silence was not peaceful, but filled with absence and loss. Survivors' cries and the drip of water from ruined buildings were the only sounds. The world was coated in mud, its colors drained away. Amid the debris, a child's red ball or a single photograph stood out, a flash of memory in a monochrome world. Grief replaced shock, the silence filled with weeping and desperate calls for the missing. Words failed, only raw sorrow remained. The tsunami shattered not just buildings, but hearts. Its silence echoed for years, a reminder of all that was lost. The Boxing Day tsunami of 2004, triggered by a massive undersea earthquake, unleashed its devastating power across the Indian Ocean. The sheer force of the waves was unimaginable, a stark reminder of nature's raw and untamed strength. This catastrophic event claimed over 230,000 lives in 14 countries, leaving an indelible mark on the world's collective memory. Millions were left homeless, their lives shattered in an instant. Entire communities were destroyed, reduced to rubble and debris, leaving behind a landscape of despair and loss. The scale of the devastation was almost incomprehensible, a testament to the tsunami's destructive reach. The disaster's scale was global, and so was the response, an unprecedented wave of international aid. Nations from across the globe rallied together, offering support, resources, and manpower to help the affected regions recover. This outpouring of generosity and solidarity demonstrated the shared humanity that binds us all. The tragedy revealed a critical vulnerability, the lack of a tsunami warning system in the Indian Ocean. Before 2004, there was no comprehensive network in place to detect and alert coastal populations about impending tsunamis, leaving them completely unprepared for the disaster that struck. In its aftermath, nations built a network of sensors and buoys to warn of future tsunamis. This sophisticated system constantly monitors seismic activity and ocean conditions, providing early warnings to coastal communities, giving them precious time to evacuate and seek safety. Today, coastal communities are more aware. Children are taught to run to higher ground if the sea pulls back. Educational programs and community drills are now commonplace, ensuring that residents are well informed about the risks and know how to respond in the event of a tsunami. Evacuation routes are marked, clearly indicating the safest paths to higher ground. These routes are regularly maintained and updated, ensuring that they are easily accessible and navigable in times of emergency, guiding people away from danger. And the memory of 2004 is a vital lesson, etched in the minds of those who survived. The scars on the land have healed, slowly but surely, as nature reclaims its territory. But the memory remains, a constant reminder of the lives lost and the lessons learned. Life has returned, new homes, rising from the ashes, symbols of resilience and hope. Children playing, their laughter echoing along the shore, a testament to the enduring spirit of youth. Fishing boats at sea, casting their nets, providing livelihoods and sustenance to the community. But there is a deeper respect for the ocean's power, a recognition of its potential for both beauty and destruction. Memorials and stories keep the lessons alive, ensuring that future generations understand the importance of preparedness and vigilance. The tsunami taught us about nature's fury, and our own resilience and compassion, our ability to come together in times of crisis and support one another. From the ruins, we learned to remember, to prepare, and to hope, to build a future where communities are safer and more resilient in the face of natural disasters.